Hi everyone, just wanted to pop into Facebook and create kind of a community forum discussion point around the coronavirus and how you're feeling and what's happening on a larger spiritual scale. So I'll just give some folks a few minutes to catch on before I start. So one of the things I wanted to share that's different from the information I shared last week is some more different perspective that I got from my spirit team over the last few days or so. And it's not new. I'm sure if you've been looking up spiritual meaning for the coronavirus, you've probably seen this already. But just to underscore it and explain a little bit about what it means. We're in the process of ascension, where we're moving from a 3D frequency environment to a 5D or a higher frequency environment. And when we get into 5D, that's a higher frequency of love. And 2020 was always supposed to be a year of drastic change and moving us forward into the 5D frequency pretty quickly. And I believe this virus is one of the tools to help us do that. One of the themes that we're seeing is this battle between fear versus love. As we know, there are two ends of the spectrum. Fear is one of the lowest frequencies we have. Love is the highest frequency we can attain, and the two cannot coexist. So this sense of fear and anxiety we have is keeping us kind of trapped into that lower 3D environment. And our goal is to shift that and transform that energy to the highest point, which is that sense of love, compassion, and empathy, not just for ourselves, but for those around us. So, unfortunately, on the surface, it looks really scary. And your human part of yourself has every right to be worried. On a spiritual level, though, without sounding too controversial, and again, if anything I say doesn't resonate with you, leave it. Just because I'm saying it doesn't make it true for you. So if it doesn't feel right, don't worry about it. But from my perspective and what I've been getting from my spirit guides is that those of us that decided not to move from 3D to 5D are going to choose their soul roadmap will choose the coronavirus as an exit point to move off planet, because the planet itself is going into this higher frequency. And so unless we move into the higher frequency with the planet, there's going to be an energetic mismatch. And so the coronavirus may be one of many different ways where, Mother Earth is kind of, I wouldn't say cleaning house because that sounds very insensitive, but basically saying, are you a match with me or are you not? And if you're not, you've got the soul's option to kind of go off planet or transition into your next higher state of being. So even though it's scary and even though the numbers are going to go up and I'm sure the death tolls are going to go up, I believe there's a spiritual reason and a purpose for that. And the souls that choose to leave their bodies during this coronavirus chose to do that as part of their soul contract. It doesn't make us feel any better if we're feeling sick or our loved ones are feeling sick, I know, but hopefully it gives you just a little bit of a different perspective to help shift that sense of fear to more knowledge and insight. I'm going to look at my notes to see what else popped up during my meditations. If you've got any questions or comments, please go ahead and add those now, and I'll try to get to them throughout the discussion today. The other thing I talked about earlier was this sense of restriction. One of the symptoms that the coronavirus has is this sense of tightness in the chest, restricted breathing, and we talked about before how it's interesting that showed up in China first because they're very oppressive and not allowing their citizens to have a voice. But from a spiritual perspective, is there anything that you need to get off your chest? Do you feel a weight? Do you feel like you're carrying old baggage, old emotions. You know, think about this time as an opportunity to kind of really clean house and let go of and getting rid of negative energy. Exactly, Sue. Getting rid of the stuff that no longer serves you. Saying how you feel, speaking your truth. Journaling is a great way to do that. Letter writing is a great way to do that. Any kind of creative outlet that you have would be useful right now, as to make sure you're purging out anything from your heart that you feel has been a restriction for you. And you know, this stuff goes deep and it goes past many lifetimes, and it can surface things that you thought you dealt with, stuff from your childhood, stuff from you know, something that happened last week. You think you processed it, but the minute you start thinking about it, you know, tears might come, or anger might come, or your body might tense up. If you have a physical reaction to any memory, good, bad, ugly, and different, that means you're still carrying it in your body, and you haven't processed it yet. So if you think back to something that happened to you as a child and you still get anxious about it, that means you haven't been able to release that from your body. So take this time as an opportunity to peel away those layers. One of the analogies that my spirit team gave me, which I love, is going through, you know, the caterpillar going through the chrysalis stage, coming out as a butterfly. We're at that last stage where we are, you know, growing and becoming bigger, and we're pushing up against our walls, or the cocoon, or the chrysalis that we're in. And so think of that restriction as the last bit we have to go through before we birth through that canal, before we break through that shield, before we break through into the higher frequencies of the 5D, which is all about love and all about compassion. So think about things that you need to free yourself from. You can use that visualization of breaking through the cocoon or breaking through the chrysalis. One of the other analogies that they gave me, or metaphors or visualizations, was, which I love, is almost pretend like you've got a big coat, like you're in this like film, and you just go like this, and you're going to unzip it all the way down, peel it away, and leave it behind you, and then you just walk away from it. It can be as easy as that. You know, you put in this coat, in your visualization, you put into that, you know, all the things that no longer serve you, all the things that are holding you back in 3D, fear, lack of forgiveness, resentment, and you just peel away that layer, visualize it leaving you like a coat that you leave on the floor, and walk away from it. And you can do that multiple times for multiple different things as they come up, because things are going to keep coming up. The more layers you remove, the more stuff there is to look at underneath that. So be patient with yourself, because it is a process. One of the things that I love too, they gave me this phrase, which is, fear is a precipice of change. Just let that resonate for a second. Fear is the precipice of change. So it's almost like the fear is pushing you to the edge of a cliff, and you're looking off that cliff, and you're ready to take that leap. So fear is an important way of acknowledging that there's some discomfort, there's change coming, but it can be a good change. You can take the power back from that fear, and you can flip the energy of it, almost using, you know, alchemy, and changing it from levels of fear to levels of love. Because remember, the two cannot coexist. So when you're in those moments of fear, it's just your human going through change. It's just that sense of, oh, I'm getting ready to jump off the cliff. But guess what? When you jump off the cliff, you're going to have your butterfly wings, and you'll be able to fly and soar higher than you ever had before. So I hope, again, that gives you some comfort. The other thing my spirit team shared was, we are hardwired to have that capability to transmute fear into the energy of love. So that's already part of our makeup, is learning how to do that. Fear is a physical human emotion. Your soul does not know or have fear. Isn't that fascinating? Our souls don't have an understanding or the concept of fear. And it's hardwired within us to be able to transmute the energy of fear into the energy of love. How do we do that? We bring forward our soul. We bring forward our true self. There's a lot of different ways to try to access that. Meditation's one. Reiki, of course, will help bring that forward. Sitting in the power, which is sitting in this meditation where you visualize white light at your heart emanating out, and that almost acts as a window or a pathway for your soul to kind of come forward in a more present state. The infinite heart work that I do, or light language, is also additional ways to help bring your physical self more in alignment with your higher divine self. Letting go of negative energy, processing old grief, old resentments, old fears. Those will also help you attain more of a balance with your higher self. More of an alignment is a better word for it than balance. A couple of mantras that they gave, or affirmations during this time, is I am free of all restrictions. I speak and express my truth. I release all burdens upon my chest and my heart now. So I'll say those again. I am free of all restrictions. I speak and express my truth. And I release all burdens upon my chest and heart now. One of the things that I'm really strengthened by, and I hope that you are too, is seeing how people are coming together to help each other. Neighbors helping neighbors. I was just on Nextdoor app, and in my local town, a lot of folks are offering to go grocery shopping for the seniors in our area, which I just thought was lovely. If you follow the healer Charlie Goldsmith, he did a wonderful video on Saturday on his Facebook page, and he feels that this is a positive for the environment. You know, it's slowing down cruise and air travel, and it's really cleaning up the air, especially in places like China. And so anytime you can find a positive in something as kind of scary and global as pandemic as this is, that's a good thing, right? Being able to see the silver lining, or maybe seeing what the positive outcomes are from something that can be so scary. So do any of you have any questions before I get into the Reiki? Anybody? Comments of any kind? Just looking at my notes again to see if I've missed anything. The other thing, now this is going to be super controversial, and I don't want to spread any false or fake news of any kind. Again, I can only tell you what I'm sensing and feeling, and if it doesn't resonate with you, leave it. That goes with anything on the spiritual plane. If you're, watching TV, you're watching a video of somebody, you're reading a book, if it just doesn't sit well with you, if it just doesn't fit, that's not for you then. You can pick and choose what feels right for you, and this is no different. So one of the things I was picking up on was that this virus is man-made versus natural. I did a little research and found that and I don't know if this is 100% true or what, but there's a virology, basically a science center that studies viruses in Wuhan. And they had been studying, apparently, coronaviruses before this outbreak. So whether that's true or not, I don't know. The point I'm making is why I'm bringing this up is not to instill more fear, but the sense of being out of balance with things that are man-made versus things that are of nature. That's another huge sign of us moving into the ascension process. The ascension process is us moving away from things that are artificial and moving more into a state of balance with Mother Nature herself. And so if you start to feel any symptoms, which most of us are going to get exposed at some point, don't have any fear about it. It's just going to wave through you. It's just going to process through your system. But if you do take it as a sign that maybe there's something out of balance with you, your relationship with nature, your relationship with your environment, and your relationship with maybe overly processed things or man-made things. So just take that as a sign that, maybe, cutting out overly processed foods, or cutting down on sugar, or being out in nature more, or getting your hands dirty with, garden work, or, maybe saying a mantra to Mother Earth or prayers to her, thanking her for allowing you to be here. So just another theme that I'm seeing as part of this is, man-made versus nature, and if you're in balance on either side. All right, so I don't think I've got anything else to add. Any other questions before I go into the Reiki? And for those of you who are watching that are also Reiki practitioners, please take this opportunity to turn your hands on. So turn Reiki on, and we're going to collectively send Reiki to any and all who watch this video, either live or after the fact. So you can take a minute to do that now. Okay, yeah, I think I got all the notes that I wanted to cover. So if you are participating, whether you want to receive the Reiki and or give the Reiki, if you're a practitioner, turn your hands on, and you're just going to go like this to your screen with the intention of any and all folks who see the message or see the video will receive Reiki. And, set your intentions on what you'd like to receive, whether it's peace, whether if you've got any symptoms and you're feeling uncomfortable or fearful, helping to alleviate that, bringing clarity with any of that. Remember, if your body's not 100% well, it's because there's something that's out of balance that your body's trying to tell you, whether it's get more rest, get more exercise, change your diet, etc. So it's not something to be scared of. It's just your body's way of kind of waking you up a little bit and getting your attention. So don't fear or panic if you just start to get any kind of symptoms similar to the coronavirus. Okay, take a nice deep breath. Go ahead and close your eyes. And I'm setting the intention for Reiki to flow freely and effortlessly, so that all who watch this video, either live or after the fact, will receive the beautiful blessings of light and love that Reiki has to offer. Sending Reiki blessings to all of you now. Through your aura, your crown chakra, your third eye chakra, your throat chakra, helping you find your voice, removing any restrictions, your heart chakra, the most important chakra we have. It's tied to our immune system. It's tied to our source. It's our limitless potential for love, empathy, and compassion. That's the area where we're growing right now. And thus, that's the area where we're feeling restricted. Solar plexus, sacral, root chakra. The root chakra is at the tip of the tailbone, and that's where we're going to release all of our fears with each exhale, blowing it back down our body, down and out the bottom of our feet, leaving our energy field. Thinking about now a white light in the center of your chest, And with the help of Reiki, this will hopefully expand further for you, filling you with warmth, with love, allowing your divine higher self to come forward and burn away any and all elements of disease, illness, anxiety, and fear. Just breathe that in and allow the Reiki to take hold and flow through you. The deeper you breathe, the more you will allow the Reiki to work through you. Think about all the things that you're grateful for. Think about all the things in your life that you love. Think about what you love about yourself, what you love about being on the earth at this point in time. What are the things you need to get off your chest? What restrictions have you placed upon yourself that now is time to release? Feel the love that's coming through. Your team, your spirit team, your guides, angels, ascended masters, whoever and whatever you believe in, your ancestors, your past loved ones. We're going to ask them to help us now, help us on the planet, help us get through this, make our transition to 5D a smooth one that doesn't need to be met with fear or anxiety, but one that's met with excitement and love and anticipation. Take another nice deep breath. Wiggle your toes. Wiggle your fingertips. And when you're ready to come back, you can open your eyes. I hope you found this to be helpful. Please take care of yourselves, take care of others. The greatest thing you can do right now is show yourself compassion and compassion for others. I send you my love, I send you my light, and I wish you all the best. Thanks for watching. Take care.